I am honored to join all of you in this solemn commemoration of humankind's darkest hour. We're here to remember the victims, the 6 million Jews murdered during a time of unprecedented, horrifying, and abject cruelty, such as no prior or subsequent act of barbarism can ever come close to matching. Although both before and after it is repeatedly tried, but never on this scale, and with this deliberate purpose. It was bad enough to want to erase a race, but to do it as it was done, meticulously planned, in cold blood, and with sweeping, all-inclusive efficiency. And it spared no one, regardless of age. It took particular relish in killing children, infants. Today is also the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau. That liberation matched in the opposite sense of compassionate purpose the horror it ended. The Allies knew that nothing good and plenty bad was happening in the death camps, but it took actual liberation to show in mass graves filled to the brim and the open doors of cold ovens surrounded by curious gray mounds of ash, the unspeakable acts of people who continue to have admirers throughout the world. So it is only right, nay more, it is the decent thing for the global community to commemorate the International Holocaust Remembrance Day on this day when it ended for a while. We all have a deep responsibility to remember the Holocaust and hold firm to the commitment never again, although it happens again and again, but never on the same staggering scale, dark design, and unspeakable relished cruelty. My country is anchored on the conviction that we shall not stand by when something is done to others that we would not have done to ourselves. The manner of this one still boggles the horrified imagination. At the time of the Holocaust, it meant doing the decent thing and implementing an open doors policy to take in the Jews fleeing systematic abuse, heralding their imminent extinction. That decent thing we did was unmatched. Indeed, it was resisted by other countries in the world. There was no political incentive to do this, especially for a small country as ours in the Pacific. Indeed, there was scant authority for us to do it. We were not yet an independent state, but a dependency of a foreign power. It was just the sense of decency that moved Filipinos, which is to say, the sense of humanity we expect as much from ourselves as from others. The rescue of the Jews speaks to a Philippine tradition of never turning away a stranger, of offering protection, especially to those most vulnerable to hurt and in most desperate need of protection. And we give it without fail. I will not mention the occasions that span the century up to the present. The refuge we gave to Jews fleeing the Holocaust is a defining moment in our friendship with the Jews. We shall always stand by Israel against any declared purpose or hint of another attempt to repeat its extermination by the bare-faced lying denial that it ever happened. Because what happened exceeds any other despicable prejudice based on race, religion, or politics. Holocaust denial is tantamount to a declared purpose of state, to make it happen again to the Jews. I will not dilute that message by invoking other horrors before and after it. Terrible as they were, in Kampuchea, in Rwanda, they won't bear iconic comparison. Jewish tradition has it that a person dies twice. The first time when his or her heart stops beating, and then again, the last time their name is said. For in a name's utterance, one thing of the dead and gone at least survives into the present, the names by which they were called in life by those who loved them. And as they were not to be called again on the way to their deaths, because their names had been substituted with serial numbers. No, Let us seek out the mocking registries of death, the last time their names were checked off against the list. Let us say their names again and keep saying their names. For the sound of it at least survives into the future they and their possible posterity were denied. Their murderers killed more than the Jews they starved to death, sickened, shot, and gassed. So let us say their names, not in the collective as Jews, but the names of each one of them, and keep saying them, one after the other. We owe this as much to our sense of humanity as we owe it to them.